Alright guys, what is up? Welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to be setting up Kali Linux from scratch. This VM here I have, well, for a lot, I need to clean this up for one thing. A lot of these are like, one of my drives completely went out a while back and I lost like all my stuff. And so, yeah, a lot of this I just need to clean up. But I'm not going to be rolling with this Kali version here because this is pretty old. So I'm going to need to download a whole new one anyway, so I figured why not show you guys how to do that step by step, and then we'll get into some Hack the Box in some of the future videos here. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Let me show you how to delete one of your VMs if that's something you want to do. This is VirtualBox here, but it's pretty similar in all the VMware stuff, so if you're using that, it's pretty similar. So here I'll just go ahead and tell that I want to remove it, and now it'll ask me if you just want to remove it from this menu or do you want to delete all the files. In this case I want to delete all the files, so I'm going to do that. Then it shouldn't be taking up my storage space, just sitting there taking up space needlessly. So now that we've done that, let's just go ahead and open up a web browser. Now, okay, I want to get Kali, right? Oops, not sure what happened here. Okay, yeah, I'm still all right. So yeah, I want to get Kali right now. There's two things I can do. One, I could just go to like kali.org and pick it up, but I want to shortcut a lot of things. So I'm gonna go to Offensive Security, to their site, and get their pre-built snapshot of it, pretty much their VMDK. So what I'm going to Google is Offensive Security, Offensive Security Kali VM, something like that, right? And you'll see this link here, Kali Linux custom image downloads. That's what we want. We're going to download their pre-built image. That way we don't have to install the OS from scratch and all that. Now, pay attention here if you're using VirtualBox, because I've made this mistake many times. This takes a long time to download, and so if you make this mistake, it really sucks, because then you got to download it all over. Do not pick these first two. These are only for VMware. These are VMware images, right? We want to pick down here where it says the VirtualBox images. Don't worry about Hyper-V. That's a whole nother thing. But yeah, just get the 64-bit. Pretty much always just get 64-bit. So you click here. This is gonna take, normally takes a little while. Like, it'll probably take those full 2 minutes, if not a little bit longer, in fact. So I will see you guys when that's done. All right, and we're back here. It has completed downloading. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and just click on it, and it'll open up here. Otherwise, you can click and drag, I believe, is another option. I don't want this on my C drive, but is this really where I'm storing them? I don't know about that. I don't have that much space here. Looks like this is where I'm storing. Whatever, we'll just store it there. So just go ahead and import, agree to this thing here. And then you let it run its course first. And there's going to be a few configuration things that I would recommend tweaking, that I'm going to tweak. You don't have to follow my exact settings. You can obviously go with what you want. But yeah, this part's going to take a little while too. So I'll see you guys in a second. All right, so it looks like it completed and it has appeared down here. Now before I go ahead and start this, I want to go through the settings and make sure that everything is configured the way that I would want it to be. I'm fine with the name. You can change the name to whatever you like it to be, obviously. Make sure the shared clipboard is on bidirectional. That way you can copy and paste to and from your VM and drag and drop files to and from your VM if you need to. That's what I would recommend. Now, yeah, we're definitely going to want to give it more memory here. I have 32 gigs on my system, so I'm going to bump this up to like 8 gigs of RAM. And then I'm going to go ahead and all this other stuff looks good. Processor, yeah, 2 CPUs is good. And yeah, all this is good here as well. And that looks fine. Yeah, I'm gonna have this natted. If I wanted it on accessible to like my home network devices, I would put it on bridged, like a bridge adapter. But if you just want it in its own isolated environment along with your other VMs, then natted is the way to go. So yeah, all of this is fine. So yeah, everything looks good how I'd want it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and power it up at this point. Another thing I'm gonna do is take a snapshot once I get everything running. That way, if anything goes wrong with the VM, some kind of disaster befalls it, which happens more frequently than you would expect when it comes to VMs. It's actually pretty common that things just completely get destroyed. That's when it's nice that you have like a restore point, so you can just completely roll back to when it was working. So that's one big advantage about using virtualization, about using VMs. So I would definitely recommend taking full advantage of that feature. But yeah, now it's just sort of powering up. Got the cool slick Kali Linux logo there on the screen, pretty iconic. And yep, so if you weren't sure what the password is, it says it on the site that I exited out of. It'll tell you, like on the offensive security side, it should be Kali with a password of Kali as well. And then you can change. The first thing we're going to do, we're just going to change that password because it's not a very good password. You never really want to rock the default stuff like that. We'll just go ahead and make this bigger. It should fit to the screen automatically then once it loads up, hopefully. If not, we might have to install guest editions and do all that crap, which it looks like that's what we're going to need to do. But let's do sudo password, and we'll change it to our own password here. Okay, first we got to give it the current password. Now we put the new password, and then we confirm. And cool, now that's updated. Another thing I don't really like, this transparency here. So a lot of this is like kind of preference, of course, as you might imagine, but there's certain things that I like to do, certain tweaks I like to make, especially to my terminal and stuff like that. So I'm going to go to preferences, and then I believe it should be in appearance. I normally like to bump the font up to like, I don't know, 12. And then transparency we'll just put at 0. And we'll apply OK, and there you go.